If your front door is open and there are scratch marks on the lock the door completely and call the police. A group of burglars are trapped inside your house. If you travel to a European country, don't ask people where the tourist spots are. Criminals will think you're a tourist and rob you. If you find a lot of large eggs in your house, call the police. A mother snake has invaded your home. If you're lost in the desert and have nothing to eat, look for brown worms in the sand. They're high in protein and easy to find. If terrorists hijack your plane with bombs, don't try to be a hero to save everyone. The terrorists will get angry with you and you'll be the first to die. If you have a dog and you're traveling to China, don't take it with you. If you get distracted for a moment, they might try to cook it so they can eat it later. If you're in the desert and see a hole in the sand, don't go near it to look. It could be the home of a venomous spider, and if it bites you, you won't make the hospital. If you're swimming in the sea and see dark clouds in the distance, get out of the water even if they're really far. If lightning strikes, the electricity travels so fast through the water that you'll be burned alive. If you're at an amusement park and a ride has a minimum height requirement, don't try to cheat by standing on your tiptoes. The safety harness won't fit you properly and you could have an accident. If you're really tired and your boss thinks you're sleeping at work, put on some sunglasses and say your eyes hurt. That way you can sleep and not get fired. If you're in the gym and the treadmill suddenly starts speeding up for no reason, don't try to turn it off while running. Instead, grab the handrails and jump to the side. If you're being chased by someone with a knife and you get cornered, take off your shirt and throw it over the blade. It'll dull the knife's edge and you'll be able to escape.
If someone attempts to suffocate you with a pillow, just turn your head to one side and you will get a small opening to breathe. If you're kidnapped and locked inside the car's trunk, simply disconnect the brake light cables to get the police to stop the car, and kick the door as hard as you can to draw attention. Even if you don't have cell phone coverage, you can always contact 911 for an emergency, as your phone will be connected to the nearest power tower. If you come across a large pack of wolves, don't move. They will only attack if they scare you enough to make you run. Even if you're about to die of thirst, never consume large amounts of cold snow. If your stomach suddenly freezes up, you could die of hypothermia. First, get the snow melted and then drink with caution.
If you're at a party but don't know how to dance, wave your arms up and down and tell everyone it's the latest trendy TikTok dance. You'll stop looking ridiculous and everyone will copy you. If you're broke and you can't afford a phone, grab a piece of wood and tell everyone it's the latest eco-friendly iPhone. Everyone will think you're trendy and will try to copy you. If you're traveling through Argentina, do not say anything bad about Messi. Argentinians love Messi more than their own parents, and they'll beat you up bad. If you're ugly and don't have a girlfriend or money, take pictures with luxury cars and post them on Tinder. All the girls will want to go out with you, and you just have to pretend that your car's in the shop.
In 2009, a man fell behind a refrigerator unit at the supermarket where he was working at. He was completely trapped, but his cries for help were silenced by the loud noise made by the freezers. Days, weeks, and even months passed by with no news about him. It wasn't until 10 years later, while some builders were remodeling the abandoned supermarket, that they moved all the refrigerators and found the man's bones, next to several scratches on the walls with blood and bits of his nails.
If you're at the gym and a stranger challenges you to a weightlifting competition, don't try it. They're recording a video for YouTube and you'll look ridiculous. If you're sleeping in a hotel and hear strange noises, place a glass cup on the door handle before going to sleep. If someone tries to open the door, the glass will break and you'll wake up instantly. If you're getting attacked by a great white shark, don't punch it in the nose. Your punch will be too weak. Instead, try to push its nose downwards. If you're in a hot air balloon and it starts dropping too low, throw out as much weight as you can and aim for a safe landing spot. The sticky grenade has a sticky substance on the exterior of the bomb. After pulling the pin, just like a normal grenade, throwing it releases the lever and activates the bomb. The grenade sticks to its target thanks to the sticky substance. This helps the bomb lock onto the enemy, leaving them no chance to escape the explosion. Some children started disappearing in a town. After interrogating the owner of a castle, they discovered that the children had been kidnapped by a famous knight who became obsessed with alchemy and black magic. He was accused of torturing and sacrificing over 200 children for his dark ritual. A servant said she saw hundreds of children's heads inside a secret room, and the carpets were made of human skin and hair. In the end, the first serial killer killer in history, Gil de Rais, was tortured and sentenced to be burned alive at the stake.
If you get stabbed with a really big knife, do not remove it unless it is really blocking an airway inside. The knife will help you not to lose your blood while sealing the wound. If you're chased by a poisonous snake, hit the ground hard with your feet. The vibrations of the floor will seem like the footsteps of a bear, and it'll get scared. If you're attacked by a shark, kick really hard its eyes and nose with your leg. That's their weakest spot, and you will buy time to escape. If you're completely trapped inside a mall with no electricity, look for colored crayons. They will burn easily and work as candles.
In 2001, a thief got stuck in a chimney while trying to rob a house, and the homeowner, unaware there was a thief, lit a big fire. The chimney quickly filled with black smoke and extreme heat. The thief started screaming and calling for help, but the fire and smoke grew so much that they drowned out the thief's cries for help. When the firefighters arrived at the crime scene, they found the thief's lifeless body inside the chimney. You get to your first date with the girl you like. Do this so you don't look ridiculous. Turn off your phone, don't put your elbows on the table, and give her a sweet compliment looking into her eyes to break the ice. But you're confused because you don't know what to talk about. Remember, the important one is her, not you. Ask her about her hobbies, try to make her laugh, but above all, never talk about your ex-girlfriend, or she might serve you a nice knuckle sandwich. On the other hand, avoid eating messy or complicated dishes, and chew with your mouth closed without making noise. If you're having soup, remember, the spoon goes to the mouth, not the mouth to the spoon. Finally, when the waiter brings the bill, take out your wallet, pay for her meal, and subscribe to BigDanBaby. How to always win at chess. Never choose to play with the black pieces. White always has a 10% advantage just by making the first move. If your opponent is about to checkmate you, tell them something interesting. When it's their turn, they'll be distracted by the conversation, and you can draw the game by stalemating your king. On the other hand, start the game by moving your pawn to e4. You'll kill two birds with one stone by opening your queen and bishop, while also controlling the center with your pawn. Finally, never move your queen close to the king without checking all your opponent's pieces. If you get checked and your queen is in the middle, it'll be checkmate for the queen. If you step on a pressure release mine, theoretically, it would trigger a spring mechanism inside that pulls back the bomb's firing pin. Now, if you stay completely still and don't lift off your foot, supposedly the firing pin won't move. But if you move your foot a little, the bomb's firing pin hits a detonator, causing an explosion. This idea was made famous by war movies and wartime propaganda. But in reality, these mines don't actually operate like this, and most of them detonate as soon as any pressure is applied. A man slid down the inside of a pipe after climbing to the top of a water slide in the dark, but it was too narrow for his body to move, and he got trapped inside. He screamed for help until he was finally heard by a man. The rescue team worked for hours to take apart the water slide and be able to save his life, but the man had suffocated a few hours earlier and died.